Excellent, and welcome to Tad Hack. We've got our additional Tech On hackathon that we're going to do over the next couple of weeks for TNID, and this is where you're going to get some additional direction from Noah and Alex. So Noah, over to you.
Thank you, Alan. So thank you all for giving this a shot where we're going to kind of focus a little bit more attention on what personal identity means to each and every one of us and trying to solve for some of the use cases that might spark the aha moment for many of you, because there are truly two different sides to this platform, meaning there's the individual identity side and there's the commercial identity side. There is a link between the two, but they both have very, very unique identities, even though they overlap with individual identities rolling up into the organizational identities. So we do find ourselves in a moment that if we start focusing through the consumer's lens, it also touches the commercial side. So some of the use cases that are obvious to us on our side, we'll go over just a little bit after Alex shows you how to register. And we have lowered the registration process down quite a bit so that you can get an API key. But I do want to make sure that we follow up with documents. And also, Alex has his view on a few use cases as well. And I'll wrap it with a few use cases that I'll bring to the table just to try and give you some additional direction here. So,
Perfect.
Alex, do you want to go over the onboarding in the sense of how to register, please?
Yeah, for sure. Like Noah alluded to, we made it pretty simple. So I believe I'm sharing my screen right now.
Yeah,
I know that Alan will also send this out via email as well. We made it really simple though. Simply go to that first URL that you see there. All the API documentation available is available at docs.tnid.com. But really, just click that link up there, where users/register, enter an email address. We'll send you a link to your inbox. And then once you click that link, when it arrives in your inbox, you'll be automatically logged in. Onboarding for the sake of this hack is completely optional. Fill in as much information as you'd like. Uh, in order to access the user API features, you can go ahead and just check the documentation. We'll send you a 2FA to your email address, not via SMS. Everything will be done via email. And then to access all the company-related organizational APIs, we just require a few pieces of information to build that company. We just need a profile name, a legal name. You have to set yourself as the owner. And you can either make up or just remove some contact information, completely up to you. But then you'll have the rights and the access to create those client secrets and go ahead and start coding. So all this is available right here. And again, if you ever have any questions, you can just feel free to email us at support@tsgglobal.com. But yeah, that's how to quickly go ahead and get registered in the system. And then, yeah, just regarding some additional use cases, I mean, honestly, with TNID, we like to think that the options are pretty limitless. So, a lot of ways to use these individual identities or organizational company identities, centralized identity management, verified credentials. We've allowed via the API just to store some metadata as well. So if you want to do credential issuance and verification, decentralized trust, any sort of identity recovery tools, access, permissions, and rights, really anything that you need with identity related to an application, that's something that we can solve for. So again, pretty limitless. And again, if you have any questions regarding the API or if you'd like to see a certain feature, don't hesitate to reach out.
cool. That's clear, Alex. Thank you.
And then I can just add to a few more of these use cases. One that really captures my attention is that the polling systems for public opinion in any way, shape, or form, and it doesn't have to just be for voting, but truly voting is a mystery. So aren't TV ratings, frankly. I've never met somebody that knew Nielsen or ever was polled by that organization. But that being said, I think that needs quite a facelift. So when I start to talk about some of these use cases, you can actually understand that everything exists out there as a use case in a sense. It just needs a facelift. It needs a better way to maintain security around data and security around your privacy and control of that privacy. So you'll see in everything that we do that every single option and every single piece of data actually has a toggle that you can share with groups or single individuals or not share with anyone. And that's because it's your data.
Mhm.
So really just a quick overview of some that you'll also see in some of the video, which would be if you're thinking about how to authenticate onboarding. I did see someone start to attempt to onboard someone using TNID into Strollid, for example. That is a use case that a lot of folks use. Like anywhere you have to put your information, medical records included, sharing data, bringing people together with that data, uh, and allowing that to happen. So when you think of polling or anything that has this invitation part of the system to it, what builds credibility and actually reputation is the amount of quality folks that actually consider you a valuable stakeholder. So creating your own profile and inviting others, and think of polling in a whole new way. It doesn't have to be in a single organization. It can be distributed. And that's what distributed technology is who says it has to be a group of X, Y voters? What if that just comes out of records that we all feed to a public system that are anonymized at that point, but are truly identified as true identities behind them? So just between those kinds of things, buying things at checkout instantly, anytime that you actually think you're pulling out your license in the digital space is a great use case for TNID. And anything that, if you're thinking about civic systems, how you can interact with your local and state and federal governments, they all have these systems that are archaic, that are centralized, and that are completely inefficient for data handling, and data mapping. So that's, I guess, it from me, Alan.
Yep, no,
Hopefully
that's